Welcome back to Teen Shenanigans and Merry Christmas because it's currently Christmas Day, although it's pretty late. It's about to be the day after Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everyone. And happy holidays to all the listeners, old and current and new subscribers.
Yeah, we picked up a few recently, so we really appreciate it. Glad you're here.
By the way, this is Hannah and Mo, not Luke today.
Yeah, we're gonna Luke and I are gonna pick back up with the regular podcast in a couple of days, but I couldn't let Christmas pass without doing some kind of fun Christmas special thing, So let's do it.
Okay, update me what's going on.
Well, since it's Christmas, I think probably most folks have seen. Did you see the photos of the British royal family and their usual? They walk to the church service in the morning and all that
I've
stuff.
been busy wrapping gifts. I did not see anyone, did
And
not talk to anyone,
they
but
looked
I
really.
saw what you did.
They looked great. Yeah,
The
I did put
videos.
a quick little video on YouTube, but they looked great. I mean, considering everything that's happened this year, I
Mhm.
thought it looked nice. Prince Andrew was noticeably absent given the scandal, yet another scandal. That dude cannot stay out of trouble. Have you heard about that? He's been associated with a Chinese spy.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
Some people say that it's a completely innocent thing. It's some kind of business association, and this guy was associated with a lot of different people. But
Mhm.
Andrew just has the worst luck. Anyway, because of that, he's basically been asked to make himself scarce.
All right.
Yeah, so he wasn't there, which of course meant that Sarah Ferguson was not there. And I think the daughters, actually, Princess Eugenie and Beatrice, opted not to be there also. Although
Mhm.
there was that whole story about Eugenie being invited to Montecito for Christmas. But as far as I can tell, she didn't go. So there you have it. Who knew? Yeah, I could do a whole episode probably on the Prince Andrew Chinese spy thing. That guy is just so dumb. I don't know.
I have no clue. I didn't hear anything about that.
Anyway, back to the festive Christmas stuff. So it was
Yeah.
lovely. It's a traditional thing. I started thinking, what are some of the other traditions of the family, the British royal family? They have this thing where because when you have everything, what's the point of giving gifts? I mean, what could you
Mhm.
possibly want? So they exchange gag gifts, like funny stuff.
Mhm.
Like I think I read that I don't know who gave the gift and to whom, but like somebody gave someone a leather toilet seat. Someone gave someone like rubber gloves like to wash dishes or just funny stuff like
Hmm.
that.
You sure that's not just for the media?
No, I've read about it. It's been in documentaries. I've seen photos. Like,
Oh.
yeah, no, it's a thing they do. I think they've done it for quite some time. But they spent their time at Sandringham, which they pretty much always do, to my knowledge. But anyways, that's their Christmas. Funny enough, I don't really know of any other interesting traditions with the other royal families. I mean, most of them they'll go to like a Christmas service or something. They'll have
Mhm.
like carol services. Oh, that's another thing though. So the Princess of Wales had her, what is this, like the fourth year? Maybe it's only the third year of the carol service that she puts on at Westminster Abbey. They pre-record it, but then they show it on Christmas Eve. It looked lovely. I saw some of the footage when they were filming it the other day. It's been like a week or so ago. Anyhow, so that's another thing. I'm sure there's someone in California that's just eating her heart out right now, but we don't have to get into that at the moment. I do have an interesting piece of information on a royal, not British.
Mhm.
So Queen Mary of Denmark. Okay, we all remember that Meghan Markle famously bombed with her podcast Spotify thing, right? Everybody heard about that. Well, then I heard that Princess Martha Louise of the Norwegian royal family, and she is an odd duck. I will tell you that right now.
The tall one, or no? The
Um,
tall one. Not was it Denmark?
well, the one from Norway, she's
Norway.
the
Norway.
one that just got married to the American guy,
Mhm.
and he is a
Who?
weird dude. They're
Okay.
both strange cats. Like, anyway, she's on this podcast. I listened to some of it. It's called Heart Smart. And
Mm-hmm.
oh my gosh, they talk about some interesting things. She talks about like how she can like sense the aura of a person and
Okay.
stuff like that. Anyway, she's quirky. Well, then recently, and kind of a more positive aspect, Queen Mary of Denmark has announced that she's going to be doing a podcast called, it's a wellness podcast called Lonely Youth. It's going to be 3 episodes. So I don't know if this is going to be an ongoing thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just some kind of special deal that she's doing, but it's supposed to provide insight into youth loneliness and how to tackle it by raising awareness or something.
It's probably a charity thing.
Yeah, I
know.
mean, that seems to be the
trend now for anything you make a
mhm.
episode like through social media in general as a podcast or something to reach out and talk about it.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I love podcasts, obviously. You know, so there's that. That was reported, I think, through the Daily Express. But anyhow, that's an interesting little thing going on over there, because I think we mentioned in previous episodes that there was some uproar with the Danish royals because Queen Margrethe, before she abdicated in favor of her son Frederick, had basically demoted some of her own children, like taken away their princely titles and stuff like that. So I read an article that said that the members that had been demoted were not going to be joining the others for Christmas because, you know, there's still like this feud going on. I mean, who knows if that's true, but GB News was reporting something like that, that King Frederick and Queen Mary were going to be spending Christmas apart from the others because I guess they're not getting along right now. So I'll file that under T rather than shenanigans. But, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't want to get into too much of the detail because it's the sort of story that I think deserves its own episode and time because there's a lot of details and it's a legal thing. Have you heard about the scandal going on with the son of the crown princess of Norway?
No, but you gave me a heads up about it the other day.
So
about what's going on. You can.
I think because in the US we pretty much exclusively pay attention to the Brits. The other royal families kind of fall by the wayside, typically. But there is a scandal in Norway, and it is affecting the monarchy. So, a little background: the crown princess of Norway, when she married the crown prince, she was a single mother. She had a son. I believe she'd also been married before, but not to the father of her son. Anyway, she'd been around. She was very much a commoner, not from a wealthy background. I read the story of how they met. If that's accurate, it's kind of like they should make a movie about it. But anyway, she marries the crown prince out of nowhere, as far as I'm concerned. But her son was like 4 or 5 years old when they got married. So he's basically been raised in the palace with the crown prince. They also have 2 children together. And so, but her son is not a royal. He doesn't have a title. The palace has made it very clear that he's not a royal and doesn't have a title. Anyway, so that's the background to this guy. I think he's now, I think he's 27 years old now. Anyway, he has now been arrested for the second time and accused of, I got to be careful what I say on YouTube. Some people use the abbreviation SA.
Okay.
Mistreating, let's say, a romantic partner. The authorities in Norway say that they have evidence of him engaged in these horrific acts on his cell phone. And apparently he's been engaged in some pretty messed up stuff for a while. He runs with a bad crowd. He's involved in substance abuse issues, and some things have happened on palace grounds, which has resulted in damage to property. And it's just been, he's been behaving very much very ratchet as far as I'm concerned. And so yeah, now they have to deal with this disaster, which is, and the guy, he doesn't seem to care. It doesn't seem to bother him. I mean, I don't know if that's true or not, but there's been clearly very little accountability in his life. But these charges are very serious, and if they have the evidence they claim that they have, which of course, they're going to need to go to trial and prove it and all that, but it's really bad. And
so is he with authorities or
he's out of jail at the moment, I believe. But it's an ongoing
what about
case.
You said they have evidence on his phone. How did they get to his phone?
Well, I suppose I don't know what the legal, I can't speak to the legal, in Norway. I know American law. I don't really know if they have to have a warrant. I have no idea, but they claim to have it. And so there you go. Anyway, so it's a hot mess. I mean, because his stepfather is the crown prince, which means he's going to be king one day. And there's this rabble rousing, clearly very arrogant guy running around, part of his family, just doing bad stuff, allegedly bad things. So there's that. And I don't hear that reported in the mainstream media, but last I saw, it was having an effect on the popularity of the monarchy. Like there was a substantial dip in their popularity, like in the polls, and normally that's not an issue for them. So, we'll see what happens with that, but he
would not be considered like a crown, like a prince.
No, he's not a royal at all. Yeah. He doesn't have a title. And see, I need to do a separate episode. I might do a multi-part series on this because of the legal stuff and whatever, but
do you know if he changed his last name or no?
No. No. I don't believe so. But yeah, it seems to me just it's kind of a cursory look at his background and the whole story. Here's a kid, I mean, he's not a kid anymore, but who was brought into a very different world at a young age. I mean, I'm sure he still remembers his life before his mother married the crown prince. And he subsequently was raised with two younger half siblings who are royals. I mean, his younger half sister will in all likelihood be queen one day. And this guy doesn't have so much the title. He's not one of them. He's not really part of it, even though he's lived there and has been brought up there. But so I'm sure it just strikes me as someone who is very entitled and probably also feels kind of like the other, maybe. And so he's just, and that doesn't excuse any of his behavior. It's just, I suspect that's part of what's going on. But anyway, I don't know the family dynamic. I don't know what their relationships are like.
Yeah.
It's just, you see situations like that and you just can kind of read between the lines, Anyhow, so that's Norway. Hey, I finally had some juicy information from someplace other than freaking Montecito. Good Lord.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like that's all we ever talk about is those two losers.
So what was it? A rumor that they are kind of separated?
Oh, that's a good lead in. Okay. So I'd like to preface this. That's the thing. We never know if it's the truth or if it's what Harry and Meghan, are putting out to stir up,
drama.
Yeah.
Or
they want attention. Yeah. They want to be in the headlines. I don't know.
We go back, circle and go back to them, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. What I do know is
been
that
a long time since
there were multiple publications reporting that, they are going, they're doing like a professional separation. And when you use the word separation, and they know this, people are going to start talking about, oh, what about their personal, Well, and I also did a little video on this the other day on YouTube. It's a really quick one talking about, there's an article where it's reported that Meghan is tired of being a package deal with Harry. Tired of, having to be a pair, 2 for 1. And they're doing this whole separate track, whatever, professional separation crap. And I said in the video and I'll say it again here, Meghan Markle is absolutely nothing without Prince Harry. Prince Harry, it's funny, he's no prince. He is a prince, but that expression, like he's no prince. Prince Harry is a jerk and a loser in his own right, but he is still a royal at the end of the day. He always has been. He always will be. The royal family is his family. Meghan Markle is an add-on, and you
Mm-hmm.
take away the royalty, she's a nobody. Anyway, so it seems like, and again, who knows if they're putting this out just to get people to talk about it, but she seems to think that Harry is the problem and he's dragging her down. And by doing their own thing, she's going to suddenly find the success that she's always wanted,
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, the Polo show. Did you see any of that on Netflix?
I heard like really bad reviews. People could not finish the second episode
Oh,
or
sweet
something
Lord in
like
heaven.
that.
It was so atrocious. It was boring. It was obnoxious. Like, all of the people, I didn't like any of them. It wasn't interesting. It's a bunch
Mhm.
of rich, privileged, entitled people riding around on horses and whacking a
I mean,
ball with
it's
a
a
mallet.
polo
Yeah, and
match, the sport.
whatever the sport, I don't really care. It's I don't know. The whole vibe was
Well,
off,
polo
not
were meant
interesting.
kind of for royalty in Europe in a way.
Well, it's always been associated with,
Mm,
the
like,
rich and
yeah.
privileged. It's not for normal people, never has been, because it's extremely expensive. If you want to play polo, that's going to cost you thousands, hundreds.
Mhm.
Some of those people spend millions of dollars a year playing that sport, and you don't ever make money doing it. It's not like golf
Yeah.
or tennis or whatever. So, it was atrocious. And the next thing that we have to welcome is Megan's cooking show, which some people are saying that because of the issues with her American Riviera Orchard trademark
Mhm.
problems, because it keeps being rejected, that I mean, maybe the show never happens. Like, they've already filmed it and everything, but maybe they just can it, drop it, and it never sees the light of day, because if it's intertwined with that brand and she can't trademark it, well, what are they going to do with that?
Mm.
Also, and I'm sure this is going to happen, people have been talking about it for the whole year, and every single project they release is a bomb, like Polo. Netflix is going to drop them. They're going to drop them like a hot potato at their first opportunity. I'm pretty sure their contract comes up 2025.
I mean, lately I've been looking at numbers for streaming media,
Mm-hmm.
like how what's going on with the NBA now. Their viewers went down to 48%
Mm.
from last year, and but with Netflix, even you can see within their shows, movies now they're doing, or even the one they are buying to be streamed on their platform, they're changing their kind of way, a bit.
Mm-hmm.
So all that, like they still have like those corny Christmas movies we watched and stuff, but there's a different. It's not like 2020 anymore on
Mm-hmm.
Netflix.
Well, yeah, because 2020 was a bizarre year. You
Like
cannot make decisions based off of
Like
that.
remember out of nowhere they had how many shows like The Circle or whatever,
Yeah,
and
because
all those shows.
let's be
I know
real, we were
everyone
willing
was,
to watch anything
yeah,
back then.
but now they saw their viewers are going down. Like people are not renewing for Netflix, and then they start kind of taking different route, and they did the live thing for the boxing match, which went horribly bad with their service.
Mm-hmm.
I know today they hosted 2 NFL games. So I think they're trying to find a different like viewers, their audiences. They need someone else besides what they have now. So I'm not sure what's they're gonna do with her and her show, but especially like with their Hulu deal was bad.
You mean Spotify?
No. Didn't they have a show on Hulu? Was it or?
No,
y-
there
You
was.
remember? It was like a year ago.
Yeah,
They did a show when she lied about the paparazzi and apparently was the photographer who they hired. It was a show. Was it on Netflix or Hulu?
it
I
had to have been
think.
on Netflix. There was something on Hulu. That had to do, I think, with Invictus that he was on, but I don't think it was his show. I don't remember. It
I
wasn't.
can look it up now, but I don't think it's on Netflix. That show they had, or was it the mini series?
Mm.
And they had an issue with uh, Panorama or Paramount within a
No.
movie, or it was like
So people have been speculating that maybe if Netflix drops them, they'll go to
Mhm.
one of these other streaming services. But that makes zero sense because everything
I'm
they've
gonna
done has
mute
been
it
a
for
failure.
copyrights.
Why would any media company want anything to do with them? That makes absolutely no sense to me because even if they just want to have we have royals working for us or whatever, collaborating with us,
With Meghan
it's
Markle.
uh it's not that big a deal anymore because
I know. I'm just curious now.
okay, so we are currently
I just had to
searching
mute
searching Netflix for.
for copyrights. I
I
had
thought you
to
said it was
mute.
on Hulu.
I'm gonna see here. Oh yeah, Harry and Meghan. This show, remember
Oh
it?
yeah, that's their big Whinge Fest documentary thing where they
Yeah,
just yeah.
that one.
That was the
I
one thing that was
2 years ago. Yeah.
somewhat successful, but in the grand scheme of things, it not that great. It should have been a much bigger deal than it was.
hmm And
They have Harry and Meghan. They have the Invictus Games thing, whatever it's Heart of Invictus, and
mhm.
then Live to Lead, which is again a bore fest, and then now polo. So that's what 4 things that have just been like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth $100 million. I'll tell you that right now.
I don't think so. That's $100 million. Wow, that's a lot of
It's
budget
absurd.
for a show that will not make $1 million.
I know. Anyway, so that's the deal with Netflix. Again, they're going to be dropped. They're going to be dropped so quick,
Mhm.
and no one is going to want to pick that up. It's like, and because I mean, Spotify showed us that. Spotify dropped them. Did anyone come rushing to pick them up? No.
Oh, I didn't know they got. Oh yeah, because they started like
Limonada, some
Lemonada,
platform
something
no
like
one's
that.
ever heard of. And that's another thing.
Mm.
See, her podcast that's already been produced and whatever, it's old news, got picked up by Limonada. Again, it's a
Mhm.
no-name thing. But and she signed some kind of deal with them, but nothing has come of that yet again. I guess they're just you can listen to her old episodes. Like who wants to do that? Nobody. She's clearly not making anything new because she has nothing to offer. I mean, if they're not whining about Harry's family or making stuff up about whatever, what are
Yeah.
they going to talk about?
And she's not included in the new Suits spin-off
Of course not.
show.
Well, because unless she was gonna, I guarantee you, it was like, she's not gonna be the star of the show. She didn't want anything to do with it. But if I had to guess, I would say she was not so much as approached about it. I bet you they didn't even talk. They didn't
There
even
was
want to talk to her about
there
it.
were articles about they did not reach out to
I
her
bet they
or wanted
didn't.
her
Why
to
would you
be
want to work with that
part
woman?
of, and they even didn't want to, like, there was an idea to make a reunion.
Yeah. Well,
And the other day I saw it was in which city? I don't think it was in New York. They were like, why these two have a lot of security, like American police
mhm,
in the front and back of them. They were just going from their house to somewhere,
yeah.
escorting them, and they're not like royalty or in a business deal in here to be
Because
have that protection.
they have egos the size of, I'm trying to think of a good example. I don't know. Mount Everest. Think of something massive. Their egos are so over the top and they're just full of themselves. They think they are so important and that we care. They're so insignificant that
Well,
I wouldn't even worry about my safety if I were them because no one
they
cares.
don't have anything on HBO. I mean, I put Meghan Markle and
Well,
instead I got Megamind.
they don't have deals with a
Yeah,
deal
like
with it.
nothing, like in a
HBO.
documentary news, nothing
No,
about
they
it.
wouldn't. They wouldn't. But
Yeah.
anyways, so that's just, I think they're over. It's been a long time coming. I mean, some of us have seen it coming for a while. They've been on the steady decline. And with every year that passes that they don't speak to his family, she doesn't make up with her family, her father in particular.
Mm-hmm.
They just become more and more disliked, more and more irrelevant. And they're still trying attempting to trade on their royal connection, the whole Duke and Duchess thing. But as I say, the more time passes and they're not seen with the royal family, they don't go over, they're not a part of it anymore. It's becoming a distant memory at this point of when they were working royals. It's funny. I was on the royal family YouTube channel the other day, their official channel. And I thought, I've never really been on here before. Let me go back and see what they were posting around the time that Harry and Meghan got married, and then subsequently the short period of time that they were working royals. Like, let me see. I think there was, with the exception of the wedding videos, there was one video of Meghan going to do some particular engagement. And I mean, that's it. It was a blip on the radar. She wasn't there long enough to be, I don't know, to be relevant. Not really. And they've been gone much longer than they were there together. I mean, Harry, whatever.
Yeah.
And so the whole we're royal thing is, we all just kind of roll our eyes and laugh at this point, because it's like, no, you're not. Like, I mean, I guess Harry is, because he's a blood royal, and yeah, you have these titles, but you're not. Nobody thinks of you as royal except the 5 people that still support you for some reason.
So, Access Hollywood. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they don't even call her princess or anything, share a rare picture
She's
of
not a princess.
Archie.
Make that very clear. I mean,
Solo Night Out. This is 2 weeks ago.
We're perusing YouTube. I love it. Oh, okay. So this is good. You see this right here?
Yeah.
So have you heard about everything that's going on with Blake Lively? And she's brought suit against Justin Baldoni,
the
actor,
their new movie,
accusing him of
sexual,
like inappropriate behavior. And I'm not going to use the terms because YouTube.
Yeah, I read about it online.
Anyway, which first of all, I despise when this happens and people immediately start making these pronouncements like, oh, he's trash for doing that, or oh, she's lying and whatever. It's like, we don't know yet. Like, let it play out. It could be true, it could be a lie. It needs to. I hope it goes to trial, because this day and age, in order to clear, you got to do a Johnny Depp. If you want to clear your name, you got to take it to trial and make her prove it.
Yeah, I didn't see the movie, but what I heard is what he's been accused of. It's his actual character in the movies like that.
Yeah.
And she's accusing him outside like work of that, and she's married. But I think if it's true, everyone's gonna take her side, especially she and her husband are big Hollywood.
You'd be surprised what I've been seeing. Because the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial was a watershed moment. And now a lot of people are kind of like, listen, we need to wait for the facts.
Yeah, and then but
accusations, not the same thing.
The facts came.
Yeah,
Johnny Depp lost a lot.
That's what I'm saying. Which
I don't
is
know
why
about
this guy
money and stuff, but like he lost his reputation. A lot of movies he's been dropped off, especially like Pirates of the Caribbean, and then I think they removed his statue. His character from Disney as well, something.
Yeah.
But then they start like begging him back.
Well, of course, why did that happen? Because he went to trial, and it was proven that Amber Heard was a big fat liar and made, and was a horrible, as we all know, a terrible, horrible person. Yeah. Anyway, so I hope this guy, Baldoni, takes it to trial and has his day in court, or several days probably for a case like that. Anyway, but the connection is that, what's her face? Blake Lively, who is now, all over the news because of this and is filing suit and potentially going to ruin someone's life, was at a baby shower the other day for someone that works for Soho House. You familiar with that?
No.
No, we'll have another conversation. It's very closely associated with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, but Meghan Markle was also there. And it's just interesting because those two women don't have the best reputation, and they were at the same baby shower, but they weren't photographed together, which I find interesting because, Meghan, she'll hustle to get photos with relevant famous people, and it didn't happen. So I kind of wonder, behind the scenes, who didn't want to take a picture with who, you know what I mean? Anyway, it's whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
you file suit to accuse someone of a horrible thing, and then you go party it up at a baby shower. It's weird. Anyway.
So let's go back to the Christmas talk
Oh,
and
that's right.
Christmas
It is
season.
Christmas. I got off on a tangent.
So
I'm
I
sorry.
believe starting tomorrow, I'm not gonna hear Mariah Carey anymore or George Michael.
You mean Wham? Last
It was
Christmas.
Wham. So speaking about Wham,
I'm not gonna sing. I promise. I wouldn't do that to you.
today, like Christmas Day, 25th
Uh-huh.
of December. Today is his 8th anniversary since he passed away. He passed.
Really?
Yeah, Christmas
8
2016.
years. Wow. Yeah, I remember when that happened.
And it just popped up in the news earlier in the morning, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of like just like as happened yesterday." I thought it was COVID time. It's like 2016. Wow, that's 8 years from now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
I know it.
and I mean, like, I love Christmas. I love the holidays, but I'm just start having, in a way, like a panic attack every time. Wherever I go, just Christmas music everywhere. And I can't.
I know. I reached a
I
point
need
several
to go
years
back
ago
to
where
normal
I just
for a second.
what bothers me is that it starts earlier every year. Like when people whip out the Christmas tree the day after Halloween or like the night of, I just can't deal with
Again,
it.
because no one respects the turkey.
Well, that's what I always say. Respect the turkey, because I, as an American, it's not because I'm an American, but Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, and no one gives it the respect it deserves in this country. Anyway, that's a tangent for another time. But yeah, I just wish that, it wouldn't, because I don't know, it loses the magic, it loses the specialness for me when it starts so early and it goes on for like 3 months. You get sick of it by the time it's here. Anyway.
So what did you get for Christmas?
I got exactly what I asked for, which, young me couldn't imagine this, but I asked for a gift certificate to my favorite spa for a massage because I'm the mother of a toddler and Lord knows I need it. So yes, you know what I got because you gave it to me.
Yeah.
But I got one from somebody else too. So.
Yeah, you got I'm trying to remember what you got today.
That's mostly what I got because those
you got
are
a shirt.
Yeah.
From Seattle, all the way from one of your favorite movies.
My parents just got back from there recently. Very sweet of them.
I'm trying to remember besides the candies and stuff.
Yeah. That's all I really wanted. I've said for a while, any holiday that gift giving, birthdays.
You got a carpet too.
Oh,
we got a carpet.
Well, that was for we got this awesome, like really soft, big area rug. My mom, got us because I've been saying for months, like I want to get a rug for this and whatever. So she and I have been having conversations about it, and she's so sweet. She decided to give us one for Christmas. Anyways. But of course, it was all about little one this year.
Yeah.
She got a lot of loot, that kid.
Yeah, and she did not play with any. She ended up going in the kitchen, trying to find something to play with in the kitchen.
She played with some of it. It was just a lot. I think she was kind of overwhelmed at a certain point. She's only 18 months old.
I got a mug.
I know.
And a coaster.
Okay, but to be fair,
I know my gift did not make it.
Disclaimer. Well, we draw names, and I didn't draw your name because part of the rules are you can't draw your own spouse's name. So I gave you a gift because, I wanted to, but it wasn't like, there is another part that's not here yet.
Yeah.
Because freaking Amazon has let me down.
I got a mug, a coaster, and a chair.
You got money too.
Not me. We both got that money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wait, you got something else, didn't you?
A chair.
Yeah.
And
anyway.
I got a bag of chips.
It was a collector's bag.
Yeah. That's lace.
It has messy on it.
Messy on it. It's like, it comes, the guy who sold it to your dad, he told him we get like 2 or 3 bags. And that's from a big grocery store. It's not like a small dollar store.
Yeah.
That's what I got. That and the chair.
Yeah. I feel like I'm forgetting something. This was only a few hours ago, if you think about it.
I got a hot cocoa powder from a place your dad told me it's been open for over 100 years in Canada. Was it? I think.
Victoria, I think. Yeah, that's where they
Yeah,
went.
when they went to over there, and but
Mhm.
to be honest, it's really good.
Yeah, you
It's
do
been
love hot chocolate.
it
Hot
tasted
cocoa.
really good.
I'm a coffee or tea person,
Yeah,
personally.
it was really good.
Yeah.
Mm. So when we're gonna like take out our Christmas tree?
Hey, we can do it tomorrow if you want. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not
and I think I'm gonna. It's a fake Christmas tree, the one we have here in the house.
artificial, yes.
So I think I'm gonna get rid of it and get a different one because this one I've seen a lot. It's moved three
It's gotten kind
houses.
of ghetto, yeah.
It got moved 3 times,
It was made for like, I mean, we bought it when we lived in that small apartment, and now
and
we're in a
we bought it
house, and
during
like,
COVID time too.
yeah.
And I think we
I think
got.
next year I want to get a real one. Not big, but
We'll see.
yeah.
Oh, depends on little one.
Well, yeah. I mean, with her, you really just have to worry about the electricity, the lights.
Hmm.
That's the first thing she goes to. God bless her. I mean, oh good lord, I spend my whole day keeping her away from the outlets. I mean, they have those little covers on them. I don't know why we've gotten off on this topic. I don't.
Yeah,
Anyways, whatever. All right. Well, that's all I have for this time. There could be more, but I think I'll save it. Don't want to use it up all now.
and let's talk about your favorite Christmas movies.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, how
Okay.
about that?
Let's see. Some of my favorites are actually fairly obscure. They're old, like from the 40s and
I mean,
50s.
oh, okay.
But
What you
there's
gonna go?
one, it's called Susan Slept Here, and it has Debbie Reynolds. Most people know of her from Singing in the Rain. That's probably
Mhm.
what she's most famous for, but she did a lot of her. She's the mother of Carrie Fisher, aka Princess Leia in Star Wars. But
Mhm.
anyway, it's a movie she made when she was quite young, and it's funny. It takes place at Christmas time. It's not really a Christmas movie, like for example, I don't know. Santa Claus is a Christmas movie with Tim Allen. That is a quote unquote Christmas movie. This one,
Mhm.
it takes place at Christmas time. But my favorite movies, holiday movies, I tend to like for the aesthetic, like what it looks like, the setting, the costumes, the whatever. And I like funny stuff. I'm not into the drama and the tears. So that's one of my ones that I like to watch every year. I also like one called It Happened on Fifth Avenue, which was in the late 40s, I think. And unless you're in the classic movie kind of community, you probably never heard of it, but it's cute too. Anyway, and then there's the classics like It's a Wonderful Life or Miracle on 34th Street. I love the Santa Claus. That's probably my favorite more modern movie, even though it's from like the 90s. But I like
Mhm.
Tim Allen. The original, the sequels, not really a fan of those, but
I like his movie. We talked about it with him and what's her name when they were supposed to go on a vacation
oh, Christmas with the Cranks.
with the Cranks.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's hilarious. I love that.
that one. And of course, Jingle Bell,
Jingle All the Way.
Jingle All the Way.
Arnold
Schwarzenegger.
Schwarzenegger.
What's his name? Sinbad.
Yeah.
And
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I remember watching that as a kid on VHS at my
Oh,
grandmother's house. I think she
Nice.
still has that VHS. Honestly.
yeah, that's a funny movie.
Yeah.
In a way,
They
I
don't
can
make
always
them like
like
that anymore.
you look at it, it's like, what is that? But it's still funny. Like if I don't think the new generation will appreciate it. They're like,
Maybe.
they will not get the jokes or
Some of it, maybe.
because now everything's like Amazon and stuff. I'm like, no one goes to store and wait in line to buy like a release
The toy. Yeah. You're
or
right.
even like a video game or something. No, you just buy it online.
Yeah. And there's a scene where he has to stop and call his house on a payphone,
Mhm. Oh yeah,
which I'm sure people
the
nowadays
drama
are like,
with the
"What is
police
that?"
officer
Yeah,
and all of that.
Okay, I'm also kind of ashamed to admit this, but there was a period of time where I was pretty under the weather, and so I laid on the sofa for several days with little bits, and she'd just kind of play, and I watched I don't know how many of those super corny like Hallmark Christmas movies.
Lindsay Lohan
Well,
movies. Every
there's
time I
Netflix
walk in,
ones,
and
there's Hallmark, there's whatever. It's like every streaming service has made their own, and they're so cheesy and just whatever. But I don't know. I just kept watching them.
This is the first year.
Some of them were so bad I couldn't
Mhm.
finish them. I was like,
This-
I can't
yeah.
do this.
This is the first year I did not watch Home Alone.
Oh, really?
or
Really?
Elf during Christmas time.
I've never Elf. I'm sure people love that.
Yeah,
I've never been a big fan. I remember when it came out and I saw it in movie theaters,
I didn't watch Die Hard.
and I've never been a big fan of Elf.
I watched
I'm not a
kinda.
big fan of Will Ferrell. I don't his comedy. It just doesn't.
I
I
mean, it's
don't
kind
get
of
it.
funny. Yeah,
It's not. It
it's
doesn't click
funny.
with me. Sorry, no.
Yeah,
I like more dry, sarcastic humor, which
yeah.
is probably why I like British things. I love their humor, generally speaking.
I did not watch Die Hard this year. I don't know. I just feel like
And yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
didn't have time to watch it in a way.
Yeah, I know.
Die Hard, I watched Iron Man 3. They consider it a Christmas movie.
Now that's absurdity. So, what is your favorite Christmas movie? You didn't
Me?
see what your favorite was.
Home Alone 1.
Yeah.
Jingle All the Way. What other movies
Yeah.
but like mostly Home Alone is just a classic. That's
Mhm.
how I was raised, watching
Yeah.
Home. Was it Halloween 2? No, Halloween 2 was on during Halloween, not Christmas.
Well, I would
In the
think so.
hospital, yeah. I mean, listen, it's Christmas night and they released a horror movie at the movie theater, not a Christmas movie.
Oh,
So,
I know. It's the world
um,
has devolved into
yeah.
insanity.
I mean, what else? Like, there's a movie. It's kind of funny in a way. It's called Ghost of My Ex-Girlfriend, Matthew McConaughey, and
Oh, I think I've
it's a
seen that
Christmas
a long time
party,
ago.
and all of his ex-girlfriends, their ghosts, comes and hunts him.
Yeah, I
It's
know what
kind
you're
of
talking about.
funny.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a play on oh, what's it called? The A Christmas Carol. Dickens.
yeah, yeah. So kind of basically that is just this year. I've been busy.
Yeah.
Like the past month, I've been
Well,
running left and right. I didn't have much time.
this whole year has gone by
Though
so quickly.
we watched that corny new movie for Lindsay Lohan.
The Christmas one.
Yeah, I
It's
forget what it's
called
called.
Our Little Secret.
Yeah,
Which I like it better than the one from last year, which was what was it called last
the one
year?
she forgot her memory.
Falling something or other. Yeah, she
She goes to
she
that
has
resort or
amnesia.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked this one this year, the Our Little Secret. I liked it a little bit better. It's still pretty cheesy, but whatever. It's more watchable than some of those other ones. Some of, like I said, I couldn't even get halfway through it, and I was like, I'm done. I just can't.
Yeah, I remember
Sorry.
the other day you were watching something like I can't. Yeah, and you
It's
switched
just
right
so
away.
bad. It's not just one thing. Like the stories are terrible. I mean, from 5 minutes in what's gonna happen. The acting is terrible. The script, oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm not an expert.
Drama
It's just
changed on movies and
you know
stuff, and
something
it's
bad
like,
when you see it.
it's like now Christmas movies, certain channels only,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of them is mainly Hallmark.
Yeah.
So that's you're talking about the age of maybe 60, 65 and up was watching
I
Hallmark
mean, maybe,
movies.
but you'd be surprised. I think younger people that watch it, especially around Christmas time. I mean, I don't know who's watching it in July, but they play it then too.
Oh, there was one. I think I forgot his name. I always forgot his name. Him and I think Reese Witherspoon. 5 years engagement. It's it's a Christmas movie.
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn. Yeah,
Oh, I forget what it's
it's
called.
kind of funny.
4 Christmases or something like that. They go to more than one family and do yeah.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that. Anyways, all right. Well, do we call it good this time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe next week.
Yeah, for sure. Luke, like I said, Luke and I will get back to our regular podcast in the next couple of days, which we will be
you're going to
doing.
be away for 10 days.
Yes, I'm going to visit my lovely grandmother, and it's a little bit of a trek, but hopefully we'll definitely have the next episode out before then. And it is the second installment of our series on firsts, like, first king, first monarch, first whatever. The first is up, and we discussed the first pharaoh, more or less, and the first I don't even want to call him czar, like the first, Russian leader, which is, listen to the episode. It's interesting. But the next one is, I believe Luke is going to be talking about Alexander the Great. And I'm more than likely going to be discussing Hammurabi.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Which is cool because he hails from your home turf. Almost exactly.
I mean,
in Babylon.
I lived exactly in Babylon.
I know, born and raised.
I lived no, I was not born there. I was born
you
in
lived
Baghdad,
most of the time
but
there, right?
I lived over there for over 16 years, maybe in Babylon. Yeah, and I've been there where Babylon and whatever remains of the city is amazing, but I believe the Code of Hammurabi is in Germany, right? Or not in the Louvre in France. I think it's in Germany because they moved that, and they moved, I think, part of the what they call them, the winged balls.
You're not talking about the Rosetta Stone, are you?
Yeah, that's Hammurabi.
That's in the British Museum. I've seen that.
Is it British Museum?
Yeah.
I mean, no, I think it's in. There's some remains in the National Museum of History in New York about Babylon. And
yeah. I haven't been to the Met in New York. The last time I was there was, I think 2019. And they had a whole exhibit, like you're talking about, on that, like that geographic area. And they had some pretty cool stuff, but not what you're talking about, no. Anyways, so that's what's coming up next.
Let's see, where is it? It's in the Louvre.
The Louvre?
Yeah, it's located in the Louvre in Paris. It was discovered in 1901.
Cool. Yeah. It's on the list. We got to go see it one day.
We have it. We back home, there was a time we had it on the money, like on the paper money, printed there. And most of the books and especially with history books, like the pictures, so it's kind of like printed in your mind. And I have a friend who is so into history and like so proud. He's from back home. He doesn't live there, but he had Hammurabi tattooed on his leg.
Oh wow, that's hardcore.
He used to play soccer, and the leg he shoot with, he had Hammurabi tattooed.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
All right, so that's what's coming up next. Hopefully I would love to be able to get the second and third episode done before I leave town, but
so before we end that, I just told you Home Alone is one of my favorite my favorite Christmas movie. I just found this meme. It says in the movie they ordered 10 pizzas, and the total was $122. So that's mean like it's $12 per pizza. So, and that was 1990. So it says, which means somehow pizza avoided inflation till today.
Yeah, you're kind of right. Although, I mean, it's gone up a little bit, I feel like.
It's gone up, yeah, but not
it's
like
more like
big.
$15, $16.
In a way.
Which in my opinion is outrageous, but it costs
from where
costs.
you get it. And
yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I hadn't thought about that. I guess that's true. There's a video.
And by the way, Rambo, First Blood, the movie, it's a Christmas movie.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Because there's a scene where Sylvester Stallone is standing and there's a Christmas tree behind him at the police station.
Oh, Lord. People are wild. There's also a video on YouTube where somebody, the scene in Home Alone where he goes to the grocery store and buys that stuff?
Yeah, all that says
Well, there's somebody that went to the store modern and compared the prices. It blows your mind. I'll link it if I can find it.
Batman 2, like Batman Return with Michael Keaton, is a Christmas movie too. It happens on Christmas. Sure. Yeah, they were lighting the Christmas tree when the penguin attacked.
Y'all need to chill with this stuff.
It's a Christmas movie.
Just because there's a Christmas tree in a movie doesn't make it a Christmas movie.
They were celebrating Christmas. I mean, Die Hard, they were celebrating Christmas party, and that's happened. So Batman's no different.
If you say so. All right, let's wrap this up. Thank you guys for listening. As always, we appreciate it. Thanks to our new subscribers. We're glad you're here. If you have not already, so please subscribe.
Can I add something else?
Oh my gosh.
And you can, last thing.
Okay.
So if you're going to watch Forrest Gump on New Year's Eve and you start at 10:38 and 57 seconds p.m. on December 31st again, on 12, you're going to be like at midnight, you'll be celebrating New Year's with Forrest and Lieutenant Dan.
Just what I've always wanted.
Yeah.
The internet is wild.
Yep.
Okay. Well, I forgot what I was saying. Oh, yes. If you're not already subscribed, please do. We have a lot more content coming up. We've been getting a lot more active on YouTube. Just been, when we find the time. But I've decided to just make the time, because it's fun. But anyways, check back with us as always for royal news updates. But we, of course, predominantly here, what we really like to do is talk about royal history and kind of in-depth discussions about various monarchies and people and stuff like that. So we do like to dish, and tea and shenanigans is fun, but we predominantly like to focus on the more historical aspects of monarchy. Anyway, so that's it for us today. We'll talk to you again next time. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.